We'll move on. Tampa Bay Rays acknowledging Pride Month with a rainbow patch on their jerseys. And then 5 players refusing to wear those patches on their jerseys. Tampa pitcher Jason Adams to the Tampa Bay Times. Hard decision because ultimately we all said we want them to know that they are welcome and loved here. But when we put it on our bodies, I think a lot of guys decided that it's just a lifestyle that maybe, not that they look down on or anything or differently, it's just that maybe we don't want to encourage we believe in Jesus, who's encouraged us to live a lifestyle that would abstain from that behavior. Sarah Spain, how does that all come off to you?
Pride is about inclusion, so you don't love them and you don't welcome them if you're not willing to wear the patch. And calling it a lifestyle reveals to me that you've done not even a modicum of research or understanding on this topic, which is what tends to happen when a privileged class isn't affected by things. This is not just about baseball. That religious exemption BS, which is used in sport and otherwise, also allows for people to be denied health care, jobs, apartments, children, prescriptions, all sorts of rights. And so we have to stop tiptoeing around it because we're trying to protect people who are trying to be bigoted from asking for them to be exempt from it when the very people that they are bigoted against are suffering the consequences.
When you say trying to be bigoted,
they're trying to use religious exemptions to affect the opportunities, services, available resources for people who are LGBTQ+.
and a patch on the jersey in this way?
In the case of sport, no. In the case of sport, though, they're double talking if they're saying you're welcome while also saying that we don't encourage or we disagree with it, especially when there are devout people of every single religion that also welcome and are open to people who are born gay.
David Dennis Jr., your read on it?
Yeah, I would love to pile on these 5 guys for their anti-LGBT gesture that they just did, but really this is about the fruitlessness of the performative gesture of having these patches and having these flags when clearly they're not the only 5 guys who feel like this. Otherwise, Major League Baseball would have more LGBTQIA+ players or any in these leagues. If you want to have something that really means anything while you're in there in Florida, speak out about the Don't Say Gay bill or do something that really says that you stand for folks that are putting a flag out there and get distracted by these conversations about who's wearing a patch and who's not.
Frank Isola.
Yeah. It's as much a marketing statement they're making as much as a political one. You know, I covered Major League Baseball for 2 years. I spent in a clubhouse. I did the NBA for over 20. Believe me when I tell you, there are a lot of players that feel this way. They're just not going to come out publicly and say it. And I think when the leagues kind of go down this road, this is what's going to happen, the fallout from it.
Glenn Yates.
Yeah, and I'm fine with if you feel this way, not feeling compelled to come out and say it publicly, which is why I point to the Rays from a leadership standpoint on this. You can't have your players doing this. It makes you look like you're regressing and you're completely backwards. It's 2022. Just imagine if 4 or 5 guys decided they were going to say this in terms of, I don't know, military things on their jerseys. People would react completely differently, and it's not all that different. Rays, get your house in order. Okay. I'm not saying you guys suspend these guys.
I understand what you're saying there, but if we could just stay right here. And the idea that baseball choosing to go down this road, and a lot of guys feel this way. Sarah Spain, a last word here.
I just think that when we say there's a lot of guys that feel this way, and when baseball does this is what's going to happen, sounds like shrugging and throwing up our hands at something that is so antiquated and we should be so far beyond. It's not just about accepting bigotry within the halls of sport. It's about encouraging people to learn and get educated so that that changes.
Well said. Antiquated. The word lifestyle that the Rays players are invoking there, antiquated. The idea of hate the sinner, love the sinner, hate.
La vida más fina, part of Happy Hour.